Hey, good afternoon. Wayne May from Head of Business Development at Farmlands, here today with Mark Maitland, who's the Territory Manager for Gallagher in Canterbury. Hey, so today we're going to talk a bit about weighing and EID and the benefits for our shareholders across the country and what it can do for them. So, hey Mark, great to be able to catch up today and talk about it and the benefits. So, for a start, I suppose talking about Gallagher, and obviously you're a big player in the market, can you talk us a bit about what offers you got in the
So we've obviously had a long standing relationship with Farmlands, which is outstanding, and we're just in our current big campaigns for weighing. It's key season at the moment, so we're leading into that over the next few months, so there's a lot of activity happening, which is great. So we're bringing some new innovation to the market, which is cool, and doing that along with our Farmlands partners, so it's awesome.
I suppose what we want to really capture the big benefits of using the Gallagher gear. So talking about sort of stock performance, I suppose that whether it's in cattle or sheep, talk us about what the main thing they're sort of going to be measuring and why they're going to be doing that.
Yeah, there's so many different systems, I suppose, across New Zealand that are capturing data and looking at whether that's lamb performance, cattle performance, dairy grazing, dry stock as well. So the real focus is obviously schedule prices are pretty high at the moment, but input costs are up, as we well know. So really focusing on growth rate performance, what your animals are doing. And when you look at pasture utilisation and things like that, I think there's no better time to be really understanding what your animals are performing and how they are. Yeah.
I suppose some of those compliance issues that you have, like I suppose some of the data you capture around compliance and what people are going to need to be able to supply stock and that to the freezing works in the future. What are your benefits there?
Yeah, it's really governed. We see so much pressure on farm for recording data, which is driven effectively from the consumer, right? So whether that's around what vaccinations, what treatments they've had recorded against animals, who ownership is, what breed, sex, all of those sort of things are driven from consumer. So I suppose our piece of the puzzle is to try and make that as easy as possible for the farmer, right, for the shareholder, to try and articulate that data, pull it together so it is an easy process for them, to ensure that they are ticking those boxes to meet those prices, because that's what customers is demanding these days. Yeah.
No, really good. Hey, and I suppose a big thing now is NATE and recording NATE, and it can always be a bit of an issue of capturing the data and then sending it off. So obviously that's a big benefit as well of your new system as well.
Yeah, it's huge. There's a couple of things in that space, I suppose, not just NATE. I'll touch on NATE first. And then there's also the sharing into other platforms. So in terms of the NATE regulation, we're well aware of where Bovis put us and how we need to improve as an industry around that recording aspect. So, all of our platforms now being cloud-based allow us to have API linkages into the back end of NATE. Probably sounds scary for a farmer, but it actually makes life a lot easier around that data capture and sending it into NATE and doing those movements. So that is heading in the right direction. It's a common thing we get from farmers that it's not easy enough, but we're well on the way to ensuring that's happening. And the second part, I suppose, is around that data integration. We hear a lot of noise around what that looks like. There's so many different platforms that people are using, and we're just a little piece of that, but we're very keen to put our hand up and be open and collaborative with other platforms to share that data. And I think we're definitely heading in the right direction with that, with APIs and whatnot. Now it's making that integration a hell of a lot easier, which is great. So,
right, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned a couple of times easy, and I suppose that's a real classic. Like this day and age on farm, and there's lots going on, and the iPhone or the phone's as important as a tractor these days for capturing data and that. Tell me, how easy is it to use for the Joe Blow farmer?
Yeah, if you take weighing, for example, literally once you've finished your weighing session within a cattle yard now, literally on our devices there's a cloud picture which you will press and that will synchronize straight to the cloud. So very effective. That's from the yard or from your home via Wi-Fi. Whereas gone are the days, back in the days, that was sort of like a 5, 6, 7 step process to do that. So Yes, we say it's easier, but we're happy to sit down with the shareholder, step them through those processes. We don't want it to be daunting for them. We want to help them along the way to make sure that it's an easy process. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, well, thanks very much, Mark. It's really good to catch up. It's good to hear what's happening, what Gallagher are up to, and if you want to talk more about coming to Farmlands, and we can give you some more advice on the weighing and EID system. So thank you.
Yeah, no, awesome. Thanks, Wayne. And I mean, there's plenty of people across the country. We've got 10 territory managers throughout, and there's also our support desk as well at head office with customer service. So please reach out to them and or through via your Farmlands representatives.